Every 34 seconds, an American dies from heart disease, and more than 80% of strokes could have been prevented with simple changes in daily eating habits. If today you could know exactly what to eat to clean your arteries, stop plaque buildup, and protect your brain and heart, would you act immediately? For years, you have eaten by habit, but could those very habits be silently killing you day by day? What is happening inside your body every time you eat a food that seems harmless? And what would happen if you began to change just one food starting tomorrow morning? In this video, you will learn exactly which groups of foods keep your arteries clear, your heart strong, and your brain properly nourished, lowering the risk of stroke and sudden heart attack. You will also see the common mistakes that turn millions of Americans each year into victims of their own seemingly harmless food choices. Nothing is more important than your life. Watch until the end of this video because every minute may be the chance you need to change the rest of your life. The heart and the brain are two vital organs, and they depend entirely on the vascular system for nourishment. Every second, your heart pumps blood through tens of thousands of vessels to deliver oxygen and nutrients to every cell. But this remarkable system has one critical weakness. If a major blood vessel is blocked for just a few minutes, the result can be death or permanent disability. Vascular blockage does not develop in a single day. It is a long process that often progresses silently over many years. It begins with the formation of small atherosclerotic plaques on the arterial walls. These plaques are made of bad cholesterol, calcium, dead cells, and inflammatory waste. Over time, they grow thicker and harder, making the artery walls stiff and narrower. This reduces blood flow, much like a pipe clogged with deposits inside. When blood flow to the heart is insufficient, you may feel chest tightness, fatigue, or shortness of breath during exertion. But these are only warnings. The real danger occurs when a plaque ruptures or breaks apart. The body reacts by forming a clot at the site to patch the damage. But this clot can completely block blood flow. If it happens in a coronary artery, the result is a heart attack. If it happens in a brain vessel, the result is a stroke. Plaques not only block blood flow, they also reduce the elasticity of blood vessels, causing blood pressure to rise higher with each heartbeat. Prolonged high blood pressure further damages the endothelium, driving more inflammation and plaque buildup. This creates a dangerous cycle, where what you eat and how you live each day directly affects the speed of this damage. The greatest danger is that most of this process causes no symptoms until a serious event occurs. Many people feel completely fine, no chest pain, no dizziness, until one morning they wake up unable to move one side of their body, or they collapse suddenly in the yard from a heart attack. These events are not random. They are the result of years without controlling cholesterol, without paying attention to blood pressure, and especially without caring about what is put into the body each day. It all begins with the blood, with your meals, and with your ability to keep your arteries clear. That is why this video focuses on food, because this is the factor you can control, the decision you make every day, and the key to protecting your heart, protecting your brain, and protecting your life. Food Group 1: Anti-inflammatory and vasodilating foods. One of the most silent but dangerous causes of vascular damage is chronic inflammation. When your body experiences low-grade inflammation over time, the immune system stays activated, damaging the endothelium of the arteries, encouraging plaque buildup, and promoting blood clot formation. That is why, if you want to protect your heart and brain, the first step is to eat foods with strong anti-inflammatory properties that also help blood vessels relax and stay flexible. The first group is fatty fish, such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines. They are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, among the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories. Omega-3s not only reduce inflammation, but also lower blood triglycerides, raise good HDL cholesterol, and keep the arteries elastic. Eating fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week significantly lowers the risk of heart attack and stroke. Next is extra virgin olive oil, a key component of the Mediterranean diet known for its heart protective benefits. Olive oil contains polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that reduce inflammation, protect the arterial endothelium, lower blood pressure, and improve circulation. For best results, use 1 to 2 tablespoons daily, replacing butter or industrial cooking oils. Garlic is a traditional food proven to relax blood vessels and lower blood pressure. Its sulfur compounds improve endothelial function and help prevent platelet aggregation, which means preventing blood clots. Garlic also helps regulate cholesterol and has strong anti-inflammatory effects. Just 1 to 2 raw cloves per day are enough to provide protective benefits. Ginger is also an excellent choice, especially for older adults. Ginger helps reduce inflammation, warms the blood vessels, promotes better circulation, and lowers blood sugar levels. A cup of ginger tea each day or a few slices of fresh ginger with meals can make a big difference over time. Another important food group is dark leafy greens such as spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. These vegetables are rich in natural nitrates, which convert into nitric oxide in the body. Nitric oxide helps dilate blood vessels, lower blood pressure, and increase blood flow to the heart and brain. Older adults should aim for at least 1 bowl of leafy greens per day to maintain healthy vascular function. Turmeric, particularly curcumin, the main active compound in turmeric, has extremely strong anti-inflammatory effects. Multiple studies have shown that curcumin reduces markers of inflammation, lowers the risk of plaque buildup, and improves endothelial function. Taking turmeric with a small amount of black pepper enhances curcumin absorption. Finally, avocados are a fruit rich in monounsaturated fats, which help raise good HDL cholesterol and reduce inflammation throughout the circulatory system. They also contain potassium, which supports blood pressure regulation. 1/4 to half an avocado per day is the right amount to enjoy the benefits without worrying about weight gain. Incorporating these foods into daily meals not only makes blood vessels more flexible, but also significantly reduces the risk of chronic inflammation, which is the root cause of many cardiovascular complications and strokes. You do not need to eat them all at once, but choose at least 2 to 3 of them each day as replacements for processed foods and industrial oils. This is one of the simplest yet most powerful changes you can make to keep your heart and brain safe. Food Group 2. Plaque-clearing and cholesterol-reducing foods. Plaque in the arteries is a mixture of bad cholesterol, dead cells, calcium, and inflammatory waste. As it builds up, it narrows the vessels, restricts blood flow, and increases the risk of clots. Eating the right foods can slow plaque formation and even help the body clear away smaller deposits. Several foods have been shown through research to significantly improve cholesterol levels and reduce the risk of atherosclerosis. The first is oats, a grain rich in soluble fiber called beta-glucan. This compound binds to cholesterol in the digestive tract and removes it from the body before it is absorbed. 1 bowl of cooked oatmeal each morning can lower LDL, the bad cholesterol, within just a few weeks of regular use. Another important food is flaxseed, which is rich in lignans and plant-based omega-3s. Flaxseed helps reduce inflammation, lower blood fats, and support hormone regulation, especially beneficial for postmenopausal women. It should be ground before eating for full nutrient absorption, about 1 to 2 tablespoons daily mixed into smoothies, yogurt, or porridge. Avocados, in addition to their anti-inflammatory benefits, are an abundant source of monounsaturated fats. Studies show that eating 1 small avocado a day can lower LDL while raising HDL, the good cholesterol, which carries excess cholesterol away from arterial walls back to the liver for processing. Walnuts and other nuts such as cashews and almonds are rich in healthy fatty acids, vitamin E, and antioxidants. A small handful each day not only benefits the heart, but also helps with satiety and blood sugar control. Be sure to choose unsalted varieties that are not roasted in oil. Green tea is a simple but powerful drink.
The compound ECG in green tea helps inhibit the oxidation of cholesterol and slows the formation of arterial plaque. Drinking 2 to 3 cups of unsweetened green tea daily can significantly improve cardiovascular health after just a few months. Chia seeds, though small, are packed with fiber, omega-3s, and plant-based protein. They help reduce blood fats and support vascular function. You can soak chia seeds in water or add them to smoothies, porridge, or fruit juice. Whole barley and soybeans are also valuable for blood fat regulation. Barley provides beta-glucans similar to oats, while soy contains isoflavones that increase arterial elasticity and lower LDL. The key is not to eat these foods occasionally and then stop. The benefits come from consistency. When you make these foods part of your daily routine, you are giving your body the tools to regulate blood lipids, repair damaged vessels, and slow the progression of dangerous plaque. This is a proactive step you can fully control without waiting for a doctor to prescribe medication.
Food Group 3. Improving blood circulation and protecting the brain. Blood not only nourishes the heart, but also supplies oxygen and essential nutrients to the brain. When blood flow to the brain is interrupted, even for just a few minutes, nerve cells can suffer irreversible damage. Stroke occurs when a brain vessel is either completely blocked or ruptures, causing bleeding. To prevent this, we need to maintain a strong circulatory system, open blood vessels, and steady blood flow to the brain at all times. Certain foods can enhance circulation, reduce the risk of clots, protect brain vessels, and support memory as we age. The first group is berries, including blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and cranberries. They are rich in anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that improve circulation, lower blood pressure, and support endothelial function. Research shows that people who eat berries at least 3 times per week have a lower risk of stroke compared to those who do not. Berries also help reduce age-related brain cell decline. Pomegranates are another standout fruit for circulation. Pomegranate juice is high in polyphenols that reduce oxidative stress and improve blood flow to the heart and brain. A small glass of pure pomegranate juice each day can help reduce arterial plaque and slow atherosclerosis. Beets contain natural nitrates, which the body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that dilates blood vessels and improves circulation. This is especially important for older adults whose nitric oxide levels naturally decline with age. Drinking beet juice or adding beets to meals at least twice per week is a smart choice for brain health. Watermelon, while high in water, also contains citrulline, an amino acid that increases nitric oxide production in the body. This supports vasodilation and enhances blood flow. Eating watermelon not only refreshes but also indirectly strengthens heart and brain function. Peanuts and beans, such as black beans, red beans, and mung beans, are another overlooked source. They contain arginine, a precursor for nitric oxide, and are also rich in plant protein, fiber, and B vitamins that support brain energy metabolism. Regular bean consumption helps lower blood pressure, stabilize blood sugar, and improve memory. Dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa is a valuable source of flavonoids. These compounds improve blood flow to the brain, reduce vascular inflammation, and support concentration. 1 to 2 small squares daily without added sugar can both satisfy your palate and support vascular health. Finally, onions and fresh garlic are rich in quercetin, which improves vascular elasticity, increases blood flow, and reduces the risk of clot formation. Adding onions and garlic to daily meals is a simple but powerful step. These foods not only help prevent stroke, but also support older adults in maintaining memory, improving cognition, and preventing dementia. If you combine this circulation-boosting group with the anti-inflammatory and cholesterol-lowering groups mentioned earlier, you are building a strong shield for both your heart and your brain. Foods you must absolutely avoid. Along with adding healthy foods, it is just as important to eliminate those that damage blood vessels, promote inflammation, and increase the risk of heart attack and stroke. Some foods can be eaten for years without obvious symptoms, but the silent damage accumulates in the arteries day by day. For people over 60, unrecognized dietary mistakes can directly trigger sudden death.
The first and most dangerous are trans fats. These artificial fats are found in margarine, foods fried in reused oil, commercial pastries, creamers, and many fast foods. Trans fats not only raise bad LDL cholesterol sharply, but also lower good HDL cholesterol, trigger systemic inflammation, and damage the arterial endothelium. Even small amounts consumed regularly can increase the risk of heart attack by up to 25%. Next is refined sugar, especially in soda, candy, packaged breakfast cereals, condensed milk, and industrial desserts. Sugar spikes blood glucose levels, triggers strong insulin reactions, and inflames the endothelium of blood vessels. Over time, sugar accelerates glycation, stiffens arteries, reduces elasticity, raises blood pressure, and fuels plaque buildup inside arteries. Another group to treat with extreme caution is processed meats, including sausages, deli meats, bacon, and canned meats. These products often contain high amounts of salt, nitrate preservatives, and saturated fats, all of which raise blood pressure, damage arterial walls, and increase clotting risk. Regular consumption of processed meats has been clearly linked to significantly higher rates of stroke and coronary artery disease. Industrial vegetable oils such as refined soybean oil, corn oil, and sunflower oil also pose risks. When heated at high temperatures, these oils oxidize easily, creating free radicals that inflame and damage blood vessels. Instead, choose extra virgin olive oil, cold-pressed coconut oil, or avocado oil for moderate heat cooking. Finally, fast food and packaged meals are loaded with salt, sugar, trans fats, and preservatives. They also dull the body's natural hunger signals, leading to overeating and loss of calorie control. For older adults, this is a major driver of abdominal obesity, metabolic disorders, and high blood pressure. Keeping your arteries clear depends not only on what you add to your diet, but also on what you decide to cut out. Eliminating these foods is the first step in stopping the silent destruction taking place inside your body.
Here are sample meal suggestions for older adults. Choosing the right foods is the first step, but how you combine and distribute them throughout the day is just as important. A proper meal plan should provide enough energy, maintain stable blood sugar, support vascular function, be easy to digest, and fit the lifestyle of older adults. Below is a one-day sample menu that can be applied long-term and adjusted flexibly according to season and personal preference. Breakfast. 1 bowl of oatmeal cooked with unsweetened almond milk, topped with ground flaxseed and slices of banana or blueberries. Add a warm cup of green tea. For a savory option, choose a slice of whole grain bread with avocado spread and a boiled egg. Avoid commercial pastries, packaged fruit juices, and sugary cereals. Mid-morning snack. 1 small apple or a handful of unsalted walnuts or almonds. Drink water or a light ginger tea if the weather is cold. Do not replace this with chips or fried snacks. Lunch. Pan-seared salmon in olive oil served with steamed vegetables, spinach, broccoli, carrots, and a small portion of brown rice or quinoa. If salmon is not available, substitute with grilled chicken breast, tofu with ginger sauce, or boiled eggs. Add a bowl of beetroot soup with ginger or seaweed soup to support circulation. Avoid deep frying, sugary sauces, or salty soy sauce. Afternoon snack. Half of an avocado with cucumber slices or a small glass of pure pomegranate juice. You can also choose a slice of watermelon or boiled beetroot. The goal is to provide light energy while boosting natural nitrates for vascular health. Dinner. Soft-cooked lentil or red bean soup with boiled vegetables and a small portion of steamed sweet potato. For a Western option, choose a vegetable salad with olive oil dressing topped with tuna or boiled eggs. Limit starch intake and avoid salty foods at night to reduce strain on the heart. Before bed, a cup of chamomile tea or turmeric tea with plant-based milk to relax, fight inflammation, and improve sleep quality. Avoid coffee, pastries, or using the phone late at night as these can disrupt sleep and raise nighttime blood pressure.
This meal plan not only provides adequate nutrients, but also helps reduce cholesterol, control blood sugar, stabilize blood pressure, and improve circulation. More importantly, it helps older adults feel lighter, digest food more easily, sleep better, and reduce the risk of sudden stroke or heart attack. Small adjustments done consistently every day will bring significant benefits over time.
Food is the foundation, but it is only one part of the bigger picture for heart and brain health. If you eat well but ignore other lifestyle factors, the protection against heart attack and stroke will never be optimal. For people over 60, small but consistent changes in daily habits can slow vascular aging and significantly extend life expectancy. The first priority is regular physical activity. Studies show that brisk walking for just 30 minutes a day, at least 5 days a week, improves circulation, lowers blood pressure, and keeps arteries more flexible. You do not need heavy workouts. Walking, light cycling, gardening, yoga, or Tai Chi are all effective. The key is consistency and avoiding breaks longer than 3 consecutive days. Next is quality sleep. Older adults often sleep lightly or wake too early. But if sleep falls below 6 hours a night for an extended period, heart attack risk rises sharply. Adequate sleep allows blood vessels to repair, stabilizes heart rhythm, and reduces inflammation. Go to bed at the same time each night, avoid blue light from screens, and do not eat heavy meals before bedtime. Managing stress is critical. Chronic stress raises cortisol, causes inflammation, increases blood pressure, and weakens the arterial lining. Relaxation techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, light music, walking outdoors, or simply talking with loved ones can help. Feeling connected, even for a few minutes daily, eases the burden on the heart. One overlooked factor is prolonged sitting. Sitting for more than an hour without moving slows circulation, especially in the legs, and raises the risk of deep vein thrombosis. Every 45 minutes, stand up, walk a few steps, stretch, or do light mobility exercises. This simple habit greatly reduces vascular risk. Finally, completely stop smoking and limit alcohol. Smoking constricts vessels, increases platelet stickiness, and accelerates atherosclerosis. Even long-term smokers see noticeable vascular improvements within weeks of quitting. Alcohol should be kept to a very minimal level or avoided entirely, especially if there is a history of cardiovascular disease. Vascular health does not come from one big action, but from many small daily changes. When you combine proper nutrition with consistent movement, quality rest, and emotional balance, you are building a strong circulatory system that can shield you from life-threatening heart attacks and strokes. Your body will thank you with more energy, clearer thinking, and lasting peace of mind.
Here is a story of successful change at age 70. Mr. James Miller, age 70, lives in Texas. He is a retired engineer who had spent many years living a sedentary lifestyle and eating according to old habits. 2 years ago, he was rushed to the hospital after suffering severe chest pain while walking his dog in the morning. Thanks to timely emergency care, James escaped a major heart attack, but doctors warned him that without lifestyle changes, the next one could be far more dangerous. After recovery, he made a complete turnaround. With guidance from a nutrition specialist, he adopted an anti-atherosclerosis diet, focusing on leafy greens, fatty fish, healthy nuts, and low-sugar fruits. He completely eliminated processed meats, fast foods, industrial oils, and sugary drinks. He also began a routine of walking 30 minutes each morning, practicing deep breathing in the afternoon, and going to bed before 10 p.m. In just 4 months, his blood pressure returned to normal without an increased dose of medication. His LDL cholesterol dropped significantly, HDL went up, and he felt lighter, more alert, and stronger. Now, after more than a year of maintaining these habits, he no longer suffers chest pain, no longer needs cholesterol-lowering medication, and feels healthier than he did at age 60. James's story is clear proof that health does not depend on age, but on determination and daily actions. He once thought that 70 was too late to change, but his decision that day opened a completely different life. A life free from the constant fear of heart attack or stroke, a life full of energy and control. Heart disease and stroke are not surprises. They are the result of years of poor diet, lack of activity, inadequate sleep, and living under constant stress. The good news is that your body has the ability to heal if you start making changes today, and you are never too old to begin again. We have gone through the groups of foods that help clean arteries, lower bad cholesterol, reduce inflammation, and protect circulation. You now know which vegetables can lower blood pressure, which fruits can boost blood flow to the brain, and which nuts can keep your heartbeat steady and strong. You also know which habits silently harm you every day and how small changes can extend your life. But information is not enough. Action is what changes your life. Do not wait until the first chest pain to think about eating healthy. Do not wait until one side of your face droops to think about cutting back on salt and sugar. Start today. Start with your next breakfast. Start by standing up after each hour of sitting. Start by putting down the soda can and picking up a cup of green tea.
If you are alive and your heart is still beating, you still have a chance to change. No one can live for you. No one can eat for you. Health is a personal responsibility. And the older you are, the more decisive you must be with your own body. Start small. Stay consistent. Trust the process. This video is not just a guide. It is a reminder. You have the power to prevent your next heart attack or stroke with the choices you make today. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe so you do not miss important information that will help you live healthier, safer, and with a deeper understanding of your body each day. Every week, we will bring you simple, accurate, and practical guidance on heart health, stroke prevention, nutrition, exercise, and healthy living. Please share this video with your family and friends, because sometimes one timely piece of information can save a life. Thank you for watching. We will always be here with you on the journey to protect your heart and your brain.